So Monster, the Ed Gein Story, hit Netflix, and all anyone can talk about is Charlie Hunnam's voice.
And I just want to live a quiet life with my mother. And I kind of sound like Zoolander. What is this? A center for ants?
The strange vocal inflection aside, which doesn't really sound like Ed Gein in real life, I do think Hunnam is giving a great performance here, as is Laurie Metcalf as his mother, both of them fantastic on screen together. And this is a very visceral, over-the-top, nonfiction and fictional story that Ryan Murphy is telling once again in this Monster universe. And here's what I liked. Again, the voice thing was a little weird, but the performances are actually good. The artistic approach to this man's life, and yes, adding in elements that are absolutely not true, but not necessarily embellishing in that fact, and not taking it to the extent that's going to piss a lot of people off, just some people watching.
Oh, boo-hoo!
But he's a man who is clouded by so much going on. I mean, he's seeing things and hearing things that aren't there. How that's being conveyed to us on the screen is fascinating. He is a paranoid schizophrenic, so a lot of the things that we see in the show through his perception are not actually happening. But at the same time, we're being introduced to characters who in real life did not do what they do in this show, Adeline being the best example. We spend a lot of time with her. It's really unknown how integral she was in the life of Ed Gein to the extent that we see her in this show, definitely taking more of a fantastical approach. And at the end of the day, the performance is good, and I like their on-screen chemistry, but a lot of this didn't happen. And so I'm sitting back thinking, okay, well, we spent a little too much time there. And we are spending too much time with certain characters and the impact of Ed Gein's acts. But when we start fast forwarding to the future and we're seeing how what Ed Gein did with these murders and the bodies that he's digging up and what he does with all of the different body parts, how that impacted cinema. As a movie lover, that was really cool. We're spending time with Alfred Hitchcock, a little bit of time on the Psycho set, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It influenced movies like Silence of the Lambs. Without that, we never would have gotten Halloween. And so, again, these acts aren't justified. But we get to see how this progresses, and I really enjoy that approach, piecing it in between some of these moments and keeping Ed Gein in there throughout every episode. Again, it loses itself at points. Like Ed Gein, it has an identity crisis as a series, but I did find myself getting way more sucked in than I anticipated, and it did hook me, never really let up until the final episode. So I'm definitely kind of conflicted, but at the end of the day, I would say I'll recommend this, but just know that it's not entirely nonfiction.
I would also say this is basically Zoolander 3.
The impression's getting worse.
This guy stinks!